Welcome to the Real Men Group podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Gray. So happy to be here. We are now operating under the TRMG network. I appreciate you guys for having me. So, Wolf of Wall Street. That's the reason why you clicked on this video, right? That's the reason why you're like, I'm gonna fuck with this video. So I hope you guys actually took the time to watch the video. It's old. It's an old movie. It's an old movie, but I just watched it a few days ago. And I was like blown away by all the content, all the messages that was in this movie. So what are you going to see in this movie? You're going to see getting that bag up. You're going to see drive and ambition. You're going to see dealing with infidelity. You're going to see brotherhood. You're going to see friendship. You're going to see betrayal. You're going to see all these things. So just think about it for a second. Take all those things that I just mentioned and take a look at your life and see how these things actually fit all the things that you're dealing with right now in your life. I know for me, if I seen a movie a long time ago, but I just wasn't operating on that frequency. I wasn't operating on that frequency to take all the messages that was in this movie. So I'm gonna start with the most important thing for me is taking chances, is taking risks. And understanding that it's not all about winning all the time. You got to be able to accept these losses and take these small wins, because everybody want the big one. So I give you, when you have the Powerball, right? Everybody want to hit all the numbers. They don't want to share the jackpot with anybody. They're not even happy the fact that they won $500 from the Powerball. But it's one thing that we really got to focus on. We got to focus on the fact that, one, you're not always going to win all the time. You got to be able to see beyond the wins and focus on the little small ones, right? Because them little small ones actually, they pile up. So to all the gamblers out there, you play roulette. You go to the casino, you play roulette. You put $1 on the number, it hits the number is $36. Right? You put $10 on it, it's $360. But if you operate at a pace where you're controlling the momentum, when you're I'm working on a goal. I'm not gonna blow everything right now, but I'm also not gonna win everything right now. You gotta understand it's all about pace. So in The Wolf of Wall Street, he was faced with so many different challenges. You know, he started out a new career. He reinvented himself. How he reinvented himself, he saw a career, he studied, he took the test, he became a licensed broker, and he was given the opportunity. Small win, right? But at the same time, he lost everything because the business that he was employed by went under. So he, at the same time of winning, he actually had these losses too. But what if Leonardo DiCaprio, what if he just gave up? What if he just said, like, this isn't for me? I can't anymore. That he took that beat down and stayed down and didn't even push himself forward. What he's seen was an opportunity for him to excel and do other things and become bigger than what he was before. So he stayed on that pace, And the next topic I want to talk about is brotherhood, because he was able to establish a brotherhood. And the brotherhood came from him being open to meeting new people. Jonah Hill is in the movie as well. And I remember this scene, and this was just a staple of this movie for me. And it might be for you guys too, because 9 times out of 10, man, we on some like, no new friends. No new friends. I'm not interested in meeting nobody new because I don't trust people. And me being from Brooklyn, New York, shout out to Brooklyn, Biggie all day, every day, it's really hard for us to allow new people into our circle. But back to the movie. So Leonardo, I keep fucking up his name, DiCaprio, was sitting in the diner. And Jonah Hill walked up to him in the diner and said, "Hey, how are you? We live in the same building. I was like, yeah. Well, I live on I believe he said the 17th floor. He asked Jonah Hill what floor he lives on. He said, I live on the 3rd floor. I said, okay. So Jonah Hill goes and asks Leonardo DiCaprio, yo, how much money do you make? So Leonardo looked at him and was like, I made $70,000 last month. And then Jonah Hill goes to him and say, you made $70,000 last month? It's like, yeah, actually, no, it wasn't 70,000. It was 72,000. Jonah Hill goes, 72,000? If you show me a check for 72,000, I would quit my job and work with you. So what did Leonardo DiCaprio do? Dig in his bag, he showed him a check for 72,000. Jonah Hill got on the phone with his boss and said, I quit. I'm not coming back no more. But I want you to look at the message that was in that. If Leonardo wasn't open to having conversations with a complete stranger, if Jonah Hill wasn't open to making that sacrifice for him to better his situation, he even humbled himself. He humbled himself to the point where he's going over to someone who he knows is making a lot more money than he is. But he walked to him and said, listen, I want to learn everything that you got going on. See, pride, fellas, pride is the number one killer. Pride breeds jealousy and envy. But if we just go up and instead of hating on all these people who's making these moves, and we go to them and like, teach me how to learn. Teach me what I need to do. But instead, it's all about that crab in that barrel mentality. We just constantly pulling each other down. How are we able to move forward if we still stuck in that mentality of the crab in the barrel mentality? What if Jonah Hill had that mentality? He probably would have stuck him up, right? Probably would have stuck him up. He probably would have found a way to scam him out of all his millions. But instead of that, he developed a relationship with this guy and they made hundreds of millions of dollars. Fellas, we got to wake the fuck up, because you remove the pride from the situation, you humble yourself, you could possibly learn something and develop a lasting relationship. So moving along with The Wolf of Wall Street, Jonah Hill, Leonardo DiCaprio created a brokerage. They created this firm, trading. They recruited, they looked within their circle and see who can add value to the firm. What type of skill set that these people around them, friends, family, could add to what they're looking to build. So they built this brokerage and it became so big, the Wall Street Journal, Forbes, everybody came out to interview him. So Leonardo DiCaprio was really happy, he was excited that his idea actually attracted the Forbes, the New York Times. He felt really good about these interviews. But then when he read the interview, he realized that it wasn't all positive. They was actually slandering him. And they called him the Wolf of Wall Street because how he was operating business. He was selling penny stocks to the poor. Mind you, he was selling Kodak stocks. He was selling Michelin stocks, penny stocks, which all now is worth hundreds of dollars per share, but we're not going to go into that. So that's when he was named the Wolf of Wall Street. He took a risk. He took a risk. He invested in himself. Just like me. All of this is because I believe in what I have to give to the world. I believe on what I have in here, and hopefully it would translate to you guys, where you guys are able to latch on to the things that I'm talking about. Wins, losses, drive, ambition, all of that is inside of you, but you got to be able to pull it out of you. So another thing that he touched on, the movie touched on, was infidelity. Yeah, infidelity. So when he started out, he had a wife. And I like to salute his wife because his wife was definitely shooting in the gym with him. But when you are operating on that type of level of money, I'm not talking about that little bit of money that we're used to. I'm talking about whales. I'm talking about people who have millions and billions of dollars. You are operating on such a higher frequency, right? So laws of attraction. So when you got this money and you are bringing in all this money, you got all these people who's going to gravitate towards you, right? All these people who's going to gravitate towards you. A lot of women is going to gravitate towards you because if you look like money, you smell like money, to everybody who's looking for money, you're the person that I want to be around. And he fell victim to that. This beautiful woman, smell good, look good. He met her while she walked in with her significant other. And the whole time they flirting with each other. Later on, he wound up marrying this woman. So the message in that is, don't matter what you have to give, no matter what you put on the table for your significant other, is always something that they are missing. And what it is that she was missing was probably this dude wasn't bringing in the bag like Leonardo DiCaprio was bringing in. So she left him for Leonardo. That's another message inside this movie. Drugs was touched on too. Everybody was sniffing coke and popping Quaaludes. They was doing all these things. I mean, they was living their fucking best life. And there's one thing about people who are operating on that level of frequency, on that well status, is that they invest in these memories. It's all about memories for them. I remember when we was on a yacht and we cruised the Bahamas, and it was us, and we just were popping bottles of Cristal, Ace of Spade, and all that. They live in those memories because that's what it's all about. But be careful in what you guys are wishing for. Biggie said it the best: more money, more problems. So you got to be prepared for all the things that you are asking for. And of course, he came into some issues with the IRS and all these other things. But for me, what I have learned at this age of watching that movie is, one, be open to new relationships. Be open to building outside of your circle and building within your circle. Because, listen, everybody can't go. Circle gets smaller, right? It gets smaller because everybody can't go. You can't bring dudes from the hood with you when you are operating on that type of frequency. So it's okay to move on and leave dudes where they at. Trust me. Everybody want to be loyal to something and someone until it's time for them to be loyal to you. It's okay to move on. Leave these motherfuckers where they at. Because if they're not going to help you achieve your goal, leave them where they at. So Wolf of Wall Street, I am the Wolf of Wall Street. I made a lot of money in my life. I cheated, I lied, I did all these things. But now I'm able to look back and be like, okay, next time I'm gonna do things completely different. So learning from all that. Be open. If they not fitting in to what you got going on, you can't fit a circle in a square or a square in a circle. If your team around you is not helping you move forward or elevate, if you can't learn something from your circle, change them. Change it. Change it. Because those be the same people to bring you down. I'm pretty sure you guys have experienced that. And don't be afraid of disappointments. Because disappointments is going to happen. It's going to happen from, you're going to disappoint yourself. Your lady is going to disappoint you. Your friend is going to disappoint you. Even today, I was disappointed. You know why? Because someone was supposed to be sitting next to me and I was supposed to be interviewing them. But what I said, one monkey don't stop the show. I'm going to keep going. So you got to be able to accept and deal with these disappointments, man. Because if you sit there and you are in your feelings about being disappointed, this person didn't do this, this person didn't do that, you would never get off that couch and move forward. Drive, ambition. Same thing that Leonardo had in the movie. And don't stop for nobody. Don't stop for nobody. If you're in a relationship and she's not supporting you and your dreams, and vice versa, fellas, ladies, whoever is watching this movie, this video, if anybody is not supporting what you're trying to do, get rid of them. Get rid of them. Because like in my episode 1, I talked about the sandbags and dragging those bags. Don't let nobody sandbag your future. Don't let nobody stop you from achieving your goals. Because all you really need is for you to believe in you. Fuck everybody else. So if you watch the movie, watch it again, Wolf of Wall Street. That's going to be my new nickname. Mr. Greater Wolf. I'm going to be the wolf of the internet. Because this is going to be the #1 podcast on the internet right now. You know why? Because I see it, I believe in it. Fuck what everybody else think. I'm Mr. Gray from the Real Men Group. So happy to be here. To the next one. Peace.